Happy Tuesday, friends. Tiffany Dawn here, and today we actually have the start of a series for the week, which is answering some of your questions. I love hearing from you all in the comments, and I decided to do a video series. It was gonna just be a video, but it was 20 minutes long, so instead you get like 4 videos this week. And we're gonna talk about some of the questions that you guys have commented or emailed me. What is happening to my phone?
For the week, which is answering some of your questions. I love hearing from you all sides. Do a video series but it's 20 minutes long, so it's like you get like 4 videos this week.
Siri was listening to me the whole time. Anyway, that's funny. So today we're gonna do one question, and then each day this week you're gonna get another question, and it should be really fun. So first, let me just start off with this quick question. Victoria says, I just had a quick question. Do you have an email address we can send emails to or write letters to? Great question. Yes, it's Tiffany Dawn at tiffanydawn.net, and I love hearing from you. Sometimes it takes me a little while to respond because I kind of suck keeping up with my emails, but I love reading them and I will write back eventually. Okay. Number 1 is from an email. Hi Tiffany, I have a question. Do you think women have to be completely ready for marriage before it happens? For example, learning how to take care of a home, having a steady job, having a sturdy relationship with God. I feel like if I'm not all of these things, then I won't be able to get married. That is a great question. So the short answer is no. Like, you don't have to be perfect, because that's the beautiful thing about marriage. Like, God uses it to bring all this stuff, these character flaws, this selfishness to light and to work on us to make us more like him. But that being said, I think there's also a balance. So there are some things that I think are helpful to prepare for. One of the big things is that a lot of people think that once they get married, their loneliness will go away, or their lust will go away, or the fact that they've been fighting so much with their boyfriend, that'll just disappear. But marriage doesn't magically fix anything. Instead, marriage brings heart issues to light, which can be really a painful process, so that you can deal with them and become more like Christ. But your loneliness isn't just gonna go away. Your lust isn't just gonna go away. Like, you're gonna have to work through those things with God, whether you're married or single. So you may as well start working on them now, you know? And then there's like the practical things. Like, honestly, it is so helpful if you and your husband have a way to support yourselves after you get married. Like some kind of job, some income, somewhere to live. Like, that just takes so much stress off, because the first year of marriage can be really stressful already. But as far as like having all your ducks in a row, like, there's no perfect time to get married. One thing I really thought was I have to be content, perfectly content in order to get married. And I thought that contentment meant no longer wanting to get married. Like, if I had a desire for a husband, I'd blown it, and God was not going to send my husband until I got that fixed. Because so many women in the church were like, as soon as I became content and no longer wanted to get married, then God sent my husband. Okay. Here's what I've learned. Like, contentment is not about losing a desire for something. Like in Philippians 4, you know, 4:13, where Paul's like, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Well, the context of that verse is he was saying, I have learned that when I'm full or when I'm hungry, when I have everything and when I have nothing, in all those situations, I can be content. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And that verse really hit me one day, because it was like, wow, so when you're hungry, like, you don't forget that you're hungry. And Paul's not saying, I am so spiritually content that if you offer me a juicy steak, I would refuse it. No, he'd be like, give me that steak. You can hear my stomach grumbling, you know? But like, he learned that he could be content anyway, because contentment is not a change in circumstance. It's not a change in what you want or losing the desire for something. Contentment is just a surrendered state of heart and saying, God, I really want to get married, but I choose to give that to you. And instead of just running after the first guy who's somewhat decent, even though he's really not that great and doesn't even love you, like, instead of doing that, I'm going to say, God, I give this to you again and again. So that was a big thing for me. Like, I thought I have to no longer want to get married and then I'll get married. No, that's not true. I never lost the desire for marriage. And I really believe I became content, so to speak, in that I was no longer obsessed with like, I have to get married right now and I'm miserable until I do. That's how I was in my early 20s. But I feel like at 26 or 25, I became content, where I was like, I still want to get married, but God, I want your will even more than I want to get married. And I love that my story is I became content and then I was single for a few more years. God did not just send my husband right away. Instead, he let me be single and live life with him. And you can learn more about that amazing story, because that was such a gift to me, in my video called To All the Single Girls. So I have that linked down in the description below. So for now, we will call it a break until tomorrow. So feel free to hit that like button if you liked this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and join us again tomorrow for the next video in this video series.